Evening people, evening, welcome back to the channel. So we are back live tonight with round 7 of P1RCs Toyota Corolla GR Marizzo League. These little short blammers have been a good season. They've been close, fun racing throughout as well. A little bit bumpy between the boys, but you know, rubbing is racing. There has been one or two kind of, you know, but that's racing. But we are live for round 7. So 3 10-minute sprints. We've got a one-shot qualifying, so they go out for an out lap. They have to do a fast lap, and that sticks them on the grid for their qualifying. And then we jump into 3 10-minute sprint races. We are live from Nurburgring, not GP. I nearly said GP. It's not. It's the Sprint Circuit. So it is a little bit shorter than most tracks you've seen here at Nurburgring. It cuts off very early on. So it cuts off an awful lot of the circuit. Obviously, it's not the full Nurburgring Nordschleife. We're not doing that in the Corollas. You can see, or you will be able to see on screen, the little short track coming up when we get into the lobby. So points-wise, let's have a look. It's Obi-Wan leading the championship at the minute with 279 points. We've got Mocking Weeks in second with 251 points. Ice Chan third, 246 points on board for him. Pilgrim in fourth with 231 points. We have P1 Dylan in 5th with 217 points. Nick Vic 007 in 6th with 180 points. Captain Pugwash in 7th with 177 points. And then if we jump to the bottom half of the table, we've got Skippy in 8th, 172 points. Is that the same? 1 second. Is that the same as... No, 177. My bad. I thought Skippy and Captain Pugwash got the same, but they haven't. It's Skippy with 172 points. Faithless Emo, we've not seen him for a couple of weeks, so he's not in the lobby tonight either. I can't see him. He's got himself 122 points. Tire Slayer is 10th with 93 points. Sorry, not 193 points. Hirokram in 11th. Again, not seen him pretty much since the start of the season. 53 points on board for him. Winnie ST 12th again. Only 28 points on board along with It's Hoggy. Both drivers not seeing much of this season at all, to be honest. So that's points coming in tonight, people. Merch still available, t-shirts and stickers. Hit me up at darksmoker@googlemail.com if you fancy any of that. Right, into the stream. Let me put the sound on because I have been known to forget. Evening, people. Evening, how are we all doing? I hope everyone's doing all right. So we're still in practice lobby at the minute. No qualifying currently kicking off. Again, it is just that one-shot qualifying. So we've got Dylan, Nick Vic. We've got Ginge Imposter tonight. He's a new driver in the P1 community. So he's joined the Marizzos. Obviously, he's not going to score many points. We've only got this week and next to go. But he's going to come in and see how the boys drive. Or not, depending on what happens tonight. I don't know. We've got Ice Chan, we've got Mocking Weeks, Captain Pugwash, Skippy, Pilgrim, and the legendary Obi-Wan, the Jedi himself, up front in this league. So 9 drivers on track tonight. Is there anybody out on circuit? Can we get a quick lap with anybody? Dylan. He's just come around turn 1, so... Someone parked up at the start-finish line. Pilgrim, go for a lap. Go on. Go on, Pills. Pills, go for a lap. He's not going to do it, is he? He's not going to do it. There is Mr. Mr. Pugwash. Ice Chand Bosch. My logo smashed down the side of his car. Thank you very much, Ice Chand. Appreciate it. His signature on the rear quarter as well, smashed across the door there. Okay, looks like we're not going to see a full lap in this practice session because I think we're just about to hit this qualifying. Again, one-shot session here. Come on. There we go. I didn't want to change the settings. And then the lobby changes and then I have to change the settings again. So let's not do that. So drivers peeling out of the pits then. We're on board with P1 Dylan. So we'll do a lap, an out lap with. Oh yeah, come on boys, separate. We'll do a lap with Dylan. So this would be turn one. A little bit of a bump on the run down into that corner. Got to catch the apex, but you don't want to be catching it too tight. It will absolutely throw you all over the place. So into the Mercedes arena. A couple of right, left-handers into a right on the exit. Just taking their time through here, so they do have to use sports softs and the sports mediums tyres tonight, so they have to put a set of mediums on at some point. If they qualify on the mediums, they have to start race one on the mediums. Right, here we go. Here's the cut-off point then. Usually we would have carried on down there. There's a few more squiggles and corners and a hairpin, but we cut it off right there into a hairpin. Into this almost 90 left, into a 90 right, running back down the hill, long straight coming up here. Oof. Catching a wheel on the grass there. Dylan gets it a little bit sideways. See, there's that Pilgrim in front, just warming his tyres up before he starts his hot lap. Dylan doing the same thing. Skippy just giving him room again. No battling at the minute. It is only qualifying. You've got to make sure you give each other room as well. You don't want to be racing on your qualifying laps, that's for sure. So the chicane at the end, again, coming off that long straight, you will be carrying an awful lot of speed. And early on in the race, there might be a few drivers still together. Could come into some chaos through there. Around that final corner then, and back onto this start-finish straight. And now we do start to see the hot laps. Let's go and find whoever's up front, shall we? It is Obi-Wan, the Jedi himself. Currently leading this championship. Again, these Corollas, they have to go sideways to get around the turns. They have to. I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it's a but they just like it. Get a bit of a drifter-tron then through that little cut-off section back onto the main part of the circuit again. So it's just a one-shot qualifier. They get this lap only to set their qualifying times. That will put them in their grid positions for race one. Race two will be a reverse grid race, and then wherever they finish at the end of race two is their grid positions for race three. That's how these three sprints work. And again, they do have to stick a set of medium tyres on at some point throughout the evening. And if they qualify on the mediums, they have to start on those medium tyres. It seems that most drivers seem to leave their mediums till the final race in majority of the week's racing. Okay then, Obi coming up towards the line. We'll start to see those times coming in. Checker flag being waved. So Obi obviously going to stick himself on the top spot. Ice Chand takes second, not able to go quicker than Obi. Mocking Weeks is though, he comes through to take that top spot, 1:38.9. Very close to Obi's time. Dylan's come through to sneak that off him as well. So 1:38.2 goes 0.7 of a second quicker than Mockin. A great lap by Dylan. One more driver to cross the line. And it is going to be Dylan on pole for race one. Mockin in second. Oh, we're not going to see that. We're going to have to wait for this screen. So Dylan on that top spot for race one. Then Mockin second, Obi third. Ice Chand in fourth, Ginger Imposter in fifth, and Newbie, he's stuck himself right in the middle of the pack then for race one. Skippy in sixth, Nick Vick in seventh, Captain Pugwash in eighth, and Pilgrim got a page of his own in ninth. Okay, straight into race one then. See, I have to put all the nonsense back on again. So 9 drivers here, 10-minute sprint here at Nurburgring Sprint Circuit. Tricky turn 1. Wait for these lights to go on then, and then they drop, and we'll get race 1 underway. They get the bounce off the line again. We have no idea what's going on with that. So Dylan leading us down towards turn 1. Weeks holding that inside line, trying to go defensive from Obi, trying to drive around the outside of him through there. Dylan gets a little bit of a wide line on the exit of that turn, almost catches him out. Obi does make the move on Mockin then. Nudges his way through to Ice Chan, where are you going, you maniac? He's come through to take second absolutely cleanly as well. What a move by Mr. Chan there. Battling with these boys is just allowing Dylan to already make an escape here. 1.1, 1.2 seconds as they come around that little cut-off section. Obi then regains that second position, Mocking third. Ice Chan getting it wrong, drops himself back into fourth. Ginger Imposter still holding that fifth though. Don't want to get him mistaken with Mr. Chan, so different yellows. Skippy in sixth. Nick Vick, 7th, Pilgrim making up a position. Oh, getting that thing sideways, a little bit loose through there in 8th. Captain Pugwash in 9th. So some drivers have started on that medium tyre. Pilgrim, Captain Pugwash being 2 of those drivers. Dylan making an escape, nearly 2 seconds up the road from this battle. Oh, have we got penalties on tonight, boys? We'll soon find out if you take corners like that. Ice Chan then makes a move up the inside. Oh, where are you going? Ice Chan makes a move up the inside of Mockin Weeks. Can he get the drive? Oh, Mockin sticks a wheel in the sand. Ice Chan's got the inside line. There's a battle kicking off behind as well. It's Captain Pugwash and Nick Vick, I think. No, it's not Nick Vick, it's Pilgrim. Stay on board with this one though. Ice Chan got the inside line into turn 1. Late braking. Oh, he's punted Obi off circuit. Oh, Obi's decided to bunny hop that Corolla back onto the track. Little mistakes like that the drivers have just backed off, allowed him to get himself back on circuit. Ice Chan now finds himself under threat though for that 4th by Ginger Imposter. So yeah, an unfortunate event there. Ice Chan's just outbraking himself into turn 1, sending Obi almost into oblivion. Mocking Weeks just backing off. Ice Chan as well, just allowing that position to be given back. Has allowed Ginger Imposter to close up, but unfortunately he gets a little dink from Ice Chan, and he catches a 0.5 of a second penalty, which he's going to serve down here. He's going to drop him off the back of those 3 drivers battling it out for 2nd, 3rd and 4th. And look at this, Dylan making short work of it here. 4.1 seconds. Oh, Obi almost loses it coming out of the chicane. Mocking Weeks has got his wing up the inside here as well. Could be losing this second. Where's Ice Chan? Has he left the door open wide enough? No, he hasn't. Ice Chan not close enough to bolt himself onto the back of Mocking Weeks' car to hold that door open and take that position off of Obi as well. But Obi might be making a move back into turn 1. Mocking Weeks dives back over to that inside line, goes slightly defensive. Not even going to look at you, Dylan. You're far too far up the road at the minute. Holds onto it then. Obi still 3rd, then Ice Chan 4th. Again, Corolla's real close battling on track. Ginger Imposter trying to close that gap back up to Ice Chan. 2.7 seconds back to Nick Vick as well. So not out of the danger zone yet for Ginger Imposter. Skippy's keeping himself bolted onto the rear end of Nick Vick here as well. It's just, so I think the top 5, let me just check. Softs on for Dylan, softs on for Mockin. Obi on the softs, Ice Chan on the softs, Ginge is on the soft tyre, and then I think the rest of the boys on the mediums. We've got Nick Vick on the mediums, Skippy on the mediums, Captain Pugwash on those mediums in 8th and 9th as well. Mediums on board for these boys, obviously not as quick. Definitely not as quick as this man. It's almost like he's got super softs on, not racing softs maybe, but he's not. He's got the same tyres as everyone else. He just knows how to put them to use. Marking Weeks then has pulled a little bit of a gap between himself and Obi. Obi's still under threat from Ice Chand. Ginger Imposter not been able to close that gap up just yet. Chasing down Ice Chand though, makes up a little bit of time around that final corner, but that little battle, second, third, fourth and almost fifth, is just opening up a little bit. Seems to be kicking off a little bit closer in the medium tyre battle here. Skippy all over the back of Nick Vick down towards turn 1. Goes for the outbreak up the inside. Nick Vick turns in, doesn't see Skippy there, I don't think. He does seem to end up getting tangled in an awful lot of punch-ups. Skippy. And none of it. Well, all three of them decided just to drive off track there then. Okay. The fastest line. Yeah, none of it seems to be Skippy's fault. He always just seems to get tangled up with people. Captain Pugwash chasing him down. Nick Vick's found himself with half a second penalty. Oh, Skippy's found himself with a full second penalty. Captain Pugwash has outbraked himself through that turn. He's got some big glitcheramas going on with Captain Pugwash. He might need to shake another hamster into the internet router. Falls further off the back of the pack as well. 3.3 seconds down in 9th. Look at this, Dylan up front, 6.1 seconds in the lead. Let's see in his rear view mirror. Look, absolutely nothing. Track clear, track clear, track clear. There is a mock-in just coming through the chicane as Dylan hits the final turn on the circuit. 6.5 minutes into race 1 here then. There's the gap, Dylan. Kicking off for third here. Ruby and Ice Chand side by side. This battle might allow Ginger Imposter to bring that time down between himself and those two. Ruby got the advantage into turn 1. Ice Chand getting the brakes right that time. Keeping himself well out of Obi's rear end firing distance. Imposter is bringing that time down a little bit. It's down to 1.2 seconds. He's only got to make up a couple of tenths and he'll be back in the slipstream on those longer straights. That'll only help him bring that time down as well. Gets it down to a second. These two still battling in front then. It is costing them a little bit of time. The Imposter. You're not Ginger at all, is that what it is? Pretending to be Ginger, you culturally appropriating gingerness. Yeah. Is that what's happening? So nobody able to stop Dylan then. Almost 8 minutes into race 1. Fastest lap just being taken there as well from him. 1:37.9 on the clock. Marking Weeks now with 3.2 seconds behind him as well. Obi falls back. That battle between him and Ice Chand has cost him a few points in race 1. Ice Chand in a good position here. Ginger Imposter that time yo-yoing back up to 1.2 seconds. Again, the battle in front hotting up a little bit, so that time could come back down before the end of race 1, but we are running out of corners and time here. Liquid. Obi using the Jedi forces to try and shove a cone into Ice Chand's way. I don't know how the Jedi Council will feel about that, Mr. Obi-Wan. Ice Chand obviously not ready for that one. See the cheats. Ooh. Ginger Imposter at that time opens up a tiny bit more, 1.3 seconds. Drop back to the medium tyre drivers, still having a little battle of their own. Nick Vick then just leading that fight at the minute. He's got 1.7 seconds over Captain Pugwash. He's got another 1.4 over Skippy. And Pilgrim has brought that time down a little bit, but again, 30 seconds left on the clock. He's got nearly 3 seconds to try and make up on Skippy. There's the gap. And not going to work. This is going to become a final lap for the majority of those medium tyre drivers, all of them I think. I don't think any of them, no, none of them are going to get across the line. I see some of the soft tyre drivers as well finish on this lap. So Dylan crosses the line with 10 seconds to spare, so he's going to get another lap. Mocking Weeks finds himself crossing the line with half a second penalty. Obi-Wan and Ice Chand both managed to cross the line. Ginge Imposter then is the first driver by a blim of a second, has unfortunately not managed to continue that fight in front. Takes 5th position. Nick Vick comes home for 6th. Captain Pugwash takes 7th. Skippy takes 8th. Pilgrim comes home in 9th. So Dylan probably going to take first, I can assume, with still 5.5 seconds lead. Yeah, gaps opening up then, top 4. Ice Chand no longer in a position to be harassing Obi-Wan. Maybe just trying to stay out of the way of those Jedi forces. Has he been throwing other things at you, Ice Chand? You can complain, you know. Mocking Weeks is going to have to lose that penalty, but it shouldn't cause him any grief in terms of losing positions to Obi. So Dylan into the chicane for the final time in race 1. Led from start to finish. Pulled a big gap early on before we'd even finished half a lap. He was about 1.1 seconds into the lead. And here he goes then, taking the win in race 1 then. Well played, Dylan. Mocking Weeks coming up towards the line. He's going to take 2nd. A bit of a hard-fought battle between himself, Obi, and Ice Chand. Gaps opening up in the end. Obi coming home in 3rd, then Ice Chand taking 4th. And we did already see Ginge Imposter take 5th by almost able to continue that fight in front, but not quite. So there it is. Victory for a Dylan. Official results then. Dylan on that top spot, taking fastest lap as well. Mocking 2nd, Obi-Wan in 3rd, Ice Chand 4th, Ginge Imposter in 5th, Nick Vick 6th, Captain Pugwash in 7th, Skippy in 8th, and Pilgrim in 9th. So let me just go back to that first page. So Nick Vick, Captain Pugwash, Skippy, and Pilgrim haven't got to bother. They've got soft tyres for the rest of the evening now. The 5 boys in front, Dylan, Mocking, Obi, Ice Chand, and Ginge Imposter, have to still use a set of medium tyres, which is the slightly slow. Let me get my words out. Slightly slower tyre, slightly less grippy. You have to brake a little bit later, hence why they're at the bottom of the field in race 1. And everybody else was at the top of the field in race 1. Let me stick some charge in the old blower, if it doesn't decide to go and tell me I've got dodginess going on with my charging port. Bloody phones. So race 2 coming up. What have we been given? 4 minutes then for me to waffle. All right. Evening. How we doing? Waffling. This is me waffling now. Got to waffle back though. A couple of new leagues coming up with the P1 boys as well. So we've got the Alpha 155 League. That's the 27th of March, I think that starts. And we've also got the GT 500 League as well. Someone in the chat, it's bound to be one of you lot in the chat. Give me a start date for that. I can't remember what the start date is for the GT 500s. But yeah, 2 more leagues coming up. We've got this week and next week left for the Corollas. The same for the multi-class league as well on Sunday night. So 2 more rounds of that left as well, and then I think we've got a week's break or something like that, a couple of weeks break, and then we jump into the new leagues come the end of March. So keep your ears to the ground. That was only a minute of waffling. I need more waffle. How long was that? About 16 seconds of drinking juice and swallowing it. 10 seconds of more waffle about waffle. There you go, you see, I can waffle about nothing. So, does Ginger Imposter, I think he's seen the rules for this one. Whether he remembers the medium tyre rule is a different matter. Again, only joining the season late. He's only just joined the P1 stables as well, so you know, maybe they'll just give him a break. It's not as if he's going to challenge many people for positions in the championship with just 2 weeks to go. Obviously, he'll score points, but see, you've still got 2 minutes. Still got 2 minutes to waffle. Nobody's in the chat. You've all got it on mute, ain't you? You can't, you know. So 2 minutes then till race 2. Again, reverse grid from race 1. So, see more waffle. These positions will be reversed, and again, the top 5 from race 1. Dylan, Mockin, Obi, Ice Chand and Ginger Imposter still have to use a set of medium tyres. The bottom 4 drivers have already used those in race 1, so they're free to use soft tyres for the rest of the night. Still got a minute. And Pilgrim's hosting, so, you know. He's been good. He's been good. I'll give him that. I called him out one week for being like a minute late. Making me waffle for another extra minute. Right, it's 27 Pilgs. Right, that's it. He said he was going to start at 27. You can see it. Right above me, look, over here. Above 27 it says. There you go. Pilgrim, have a good race. There you go. He's not messing about. He's not giving me the opportunity to call him out again. So again, reverse grid into race 2. Let's wait for this one to let me in. Still some drivers having to use that medium tyre as well. Just have a quick flick through. Anybody who's that? Obi-Wan, he's opted for it in race 2, but it is only Obi that's opted for it in race 2. So Mockin, Ice Chand, Dylan and Ginge will all be using it in race 3. Lights go out, then we get this race, second race underway. Pilgrim diving over to that inside line to go defensive into turn 1. Not letting anyone sneak up the inside for that one. A little bit of bumping and barging going on behind. Oof, Skippy, see? Skippy getting tangled up. Didn't do anything to anybody. Gets tangled. Pilgrim leads then. Nick Vick holding second. Oh, Captain Bugwash. Oh, again. Send Skippy. Yeah, Captain Bugwash has got some serious jinky going on tonight. There's all sorts of internet issues for him this evening, so let's just run through the order now. It's calmed down a little. It is Pilgrim that's leading. Nick Vick into second, but he finds himself with half a second penalty. Ice Chand has fired his way through the field into third. Mocky Weeks has followed him into fourth as well. Skippy holds fifth, even after having battered and bruised first half of lap 1. Dylan squeezes his way into sixth, then gets his way past Ginger Imposter. He's in seventh. Captain Pugwash in eighth, and Obi on that medium tyre in ninth. But don't get me wrong, Obi on the medium tyre will still be giving the guys, some of the guys on that soft tyre, a little bit of grief for sure. Now, what can Pilgrim do on his softs? What he would have liked is for Ice Chand and Mockin Weeks to have both sodded off and stayed at the back of the field. Thank you very much. That's what he would have liked. But no, he's now got an Ice Chand and a Mockin Weeks chasing him down. Nick Vick in fourth. Dylan fifth, so makes up another position. He's past Skippy. Skippy sixth. Again, poor Skips. He's been battered and bruised already. Obi trying to Jedi Force cones into people's way again. Ginger Imposter in 7th. There's Obi in 8th. Gets himself past Captain Pugwash, and again Captain Pugwash. The car jinking all over the place. The internet not liking him tonight. Pilgrim finds himself under pressure then at the front of the pack. Let's get ourselves on with a Mocking Weeks in 3rd then. Almost into the back of Ice Chand, has to take evasive action. Chasing him down, gives them a little nudge up the road closer to Pilgrim. They like to keep the racing nice and tight, these boys. Again, these Corollas do like to go sideways. Mocking Weeks dips a wheel on the sand there. That's going to slow him down. You'll see those two disappear. And you might see Dylan and Skippy close up on him. Ice Chand and Pilgrim open up a bit of a gap to mock him with that wheel on the sand. That's not what he wants to do. Catches back up under braking though into the chicane. Let's change that view up a little bit. Pilgrim goes a little bit defensive, but Ice Chand already up the inside of him, so into the lead for him for the time being. Two drivers very close. Pilgrim almost pushing him out of the exit of turn 1. Ice Chand now goes defensive. Mocking nearly dived over with him. Board with Mocking while he's getting the slipstream off of Pilgrim. Ice Chand decides he's going to come back across the circuit looking for any kind of line into turn 1. Has to run it wide on the exit. Does that benefit him? Does he lose out? Pilgrim side by side. He's carrying a little bit more speed, but Ice Chand's still got the inside line coming into this next turn. Mocking Weeks is now looking for a way past Pilgrim as well. Just needs to keep his wing there. He does. Again, just a little bit of bumping and barging. Here comes a Dylan out of bloody nowhere. Look, I'll have the pair of you, thank you very much. You're fighting. I'll come past Mocking. I'll come past Pilgrim. Give him a little send as well, and then stick myself into 2nd. Thank you very much. Off then out the front. Ice Chand leading the way at the minute. Dylan in 2nd, just 0.5 of a second behind him. Pilgrim into 3rd then. Being harassed by Mocking Weeks in 4th. 1.8 seconds back is Skippy. He's in 5th. Nick Vic 6th. Ginger Imposter chasing him down in 7th. Captain Pugwash back into 8th. And Obi again on that slower tyre, but just a little bit of a battle with a shaking around a shaking around Captain Pugwash. Internet is not liking him tonight. Ice Chand coming under pressure then for the lead. Dylan looking for all the wins tonight. Drivers have found the horn. Mocking Weeks has found his way past Pilgrim as well. Into 3rd he goes. Ice Chand goes defensive though from a Dylan. Oh, but he goes deep on the exit. Dylan keeps the power on. It's going to be an almost replay of the last lap where it was Ice Chand versus Pilgrim, but Dylan carries the speed around the outside and gets that top spot on his way through the Mercedes arena. Looking for all the points tonight then, Dylan. He has got to use that medium tyre now in race 3 though. And if he finishes here, this is where he'll start, so he will lead the race on that medium tyre, controlling the pace to a certain degree. Ice Chand in 2nd then. Mocking Weeks still under a bit of pressure. He just took that position off of Pilgrim. Pilgrim trying to get it back off him. Top 4 still only 1.8 seconds between them. Oh no, Skippy's found himself with half a second penalty. He's going to have to lose that round here. Nick Vic will be on his bumper by the time they come up to the chicane. Let's have a look. 2 penalty markers then, those 2 yellow dots. Ginger Imposter on his tail as well. Skippy then losing that penalty. Nick Vic closing up on him into the chicane. Not able to get the move done before he comes into that one. Ginger Imposter losing a bit of time, but now there's a good battle here. Oh, Nick Vic sees a tiny little bit of a gap there. Sticks his wing in it, but a little bit too little too late there, Nick Vic. Nearly sends Skippy again. So Ginger Imposter chasing those 2 down, just 0.8 of a second down at the minute for him. Captain Pugwash in 9th, 5.2 seconds back. Obi trying everything he can to get past him, but 0.8 of a second back on that medium tyre. Only driver in race 2 on that medium tyre. Look, Dylan's done it again. 1.6 seconds lead over everybody else. Mocking Weeks has also found his way past Ice Chand. Pilgrim trying to get past him as well, but he's got a penalty to lose as well. Pilgrim, that's not going to help him out. Look at the gap Dylan's got already. It's ridiculous. So Ice Chand under threat, but Pilgrim will fall off his tail. Both drivers are risking it through there, kicking up a bit of sand. There's Pilgrim losing his penalty. Ice Chand just able to stretch that gap open with that slight slowdown from him. Closes back up on Pilgrim at the same onto Mockin at the same time. 0.5 of a second behind him. Maybe a little bit deep into the chicane. Yes, it is. Pilgrim carries good speed. Gets that position off him. Just trying to carry a little bit too much speed into the chicane to catch up with Mockin Weeks. Cost him on the exit. Pilgrim managing to take advantage. Nick Vick then finding himself under all sorts of pressure here. He's got Skippy and Ginger Imposter looking for that position off of him. Ginger Imposter almost had his wing on the inside of Skippy here as well, but not quite close enough into turn 1. Still battle happening for that last position. Captain Pugwash and Obi-Wan reasonably close. Oh, maybe not so much anymore. Look at this up front. Dylan doubles that lead, 3 seconds over Mockin. He's pulled time as well. Battle kicking off then for third still. Ice Chand gets his way back past Pilgrim. Real good battle between these two. This probably will be final lap, so it's looking like Dylan's going to take race 2 win here tonight. Pilgrim doing everything he can to try and get past Ice Chand, but he's running out of corners. He's not going to get him into the chicane without an absolute Hail Mary, but it's probably going to cost him and Ice Chand if that happens. Last chance then into the final turn. He's not close enough to stick one up the inside under braking. Maybe. Quite, and it's not to be. It is going to be Ice Chand that takes that third place. Oof. No, Mockin. Oh, Mockin's thrown it in the bin, people. See, his name is Mocking Weeks. I think you should give him Mocking for Weeks for that. You like that? You like that? Mock him for Weeks, right? He thought the 10-minute marker was up. He stuck his brakes on, coming up to the line, or just let off the throttle, coming up to the line, and no, he's got to do another lap. It looks like Ice Chand has given him that position back though, but it is only these 3 out on track now, so Dylan is going to take the win if he can stay in this position and not spin himself off track, which he's not done so far, so I can't see it happening. Again, Mocking Weeks, I think it's going to finish first, second and third as we are, but it was Pilgrim that first man to cross the line, taking 4th. Nick Vick taking 5th. Ginger Imposter coming through, almost getting him, taking 6th. Did get past Skippy though, taking 7th. Captain Pugwash comes home in 8th, and Obi on that medium tyre in 9th. Oof, Dylan, cheater, look, cheater. Last lap, knows he's not going to have to lose a penalty, so he's swearing at the race officials again. Finds himself with a 1 second penalty. They should be held. I think you should hold those until next round. They should be sent over. There it is. 2 out of 2 then so far for Dylan. Mocking Weeks is going to take that second position kind of by default. I think you know, it was a genuine mistake by you, Mocking. You should have raced it out. I know it probably would have been done and dusted and Ice Chand would have took it, but Ice Chand, being the very nice man he is, said, go on then, go on then, go on then. That's what he said. Right, I'm fed up with seeing you winning these races, Dylan. Now, I know you start at the front of the next race, but you are on the mediums. I don't want to see you here again. Not tonight, anyway. Give someone else a chance. Greedy, that's what it is. It's greedy. Oh, we're not going to see official results because, are we? Can we? Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can. I thought they got scrubbed, but they don't. So it was Dylan taking the win then again in race 2, even with a 1 second penalty. The dirty cheater. Mocking Weeks coming home in 2nd, Ice Chand 3rd, Pilgrim 4th, Nick Vick in 5th, Ginger Imposter in 6th, Skippy 7th, Captain Pugwash in 8th, Obi-Wan on that medium tyre in 9th. Again, some of these drivers still got to use that medium tyre in the final race. You're giving me 5 minutes of waffle time now, Pilgs. Come on. Is this payback? Is this payback because I called you out for time? Now you're just going to slowly increase the amount of time in between races. So I could probably do another stream for a different sim racing group, a different lobby in between it, like an hour and a half gap in between races. Yeah, Mocking Weeks coming in the chat there then, giving himself a dough. Thinking that that 10-minute timer had ticked over, crossed the line, let off the throttle. No, no it hadn't. Mock him for weeks. You know I'm bringing that up Sunday, Mocking. You know that's happening. You're not getting away with that one. Expect carnage. Why are you saying expect carnage? Eh? I don't think we're going to expect carnage. It's been some decent racing tonight. Poor Skippy. Leave him alone. Oh, he's Australian. He can't help it. It's early for him. He's not had any breakfast. He's probably not had a coffee yet. Stop picking on him. Hold on a minute. Oh, okay, so the medium tyre rule might have just been absolutely thrown out the window. Because if I'm looking correctly on track, as cars are coming down to this first turn, they're bringing a great big trail of spray with them, which tells me it is raining. Everybody has the option of putting we've still got drivers out on the sports mediums, in fact. This is not a race, people, it is just practice in between. I was just checking the track conditions. Do they have the option? It's above the blue bar. What's the tyre rule in this one, peeps? What's the tyre rule? Come on. I need to know that now. Have you even opted to allow wet weather tyres? Is that why everyone's still on the sports softs and the sports mediums? Because you've said no. No, spin-off track at turn 1 in race 3. Is that what you said? Come on, I know it's just been in the chat. Boom. No, nothing there. Rules. Yeah, no. Start. No. Blue flags. Incident reporting. No. Penalties. Communication. Fair play. The tracks. Weather will be random. Doesn't say anything about wet weather tyres. Lobby settings and sports tyres. That's all it says. Could be absolute carnage then, Mocking. I apologise. I'll take that back. Why you were saying that as you He's probably experienced. Who's that out track? That is... Well, let's just go and watch anyone, really. So conditions might change, so the track will probably, even though it's only 10 minutes, the track might change. So it might rain at the start, it might rain halfway through. Obviously in this practice session there's a little bit of moisture on the track, but it does seem to be drying out. I can see shadows and sunshine. Let me get myself on with Nick Vick, in fact. So you see there's a very, very slight dry line appearing now that sun's come back out. So that's what you might see in race 3 here, that it tips it down with rain and then drops into dry weather. Everything dries out. We'll see. We'll see. But here we go then. Race 3. That's not the view we want. That's the view we want. So, grid positions for race 3 are your finishing positions for race 2. Dylan on the mediums, Mockin on the mediums, Ice Chand on the mediums, softs for Pilgrim, the lights go on, Nick Vick on the softs, mediums on for Ginge Imposter, softs on for Skippy, Captain Pugwash on the softs, and mediums, we missed the driver. Obi, he's on the softs, but he starts from the back. So Dylan winning race 1, race 2, starts on the medium tyres. Does everybody? It is raining. Everybody gets through turn 1 reasonably cleanly, to be honest. Certainly wasn't expecting that. The Jedi forces are coming out again. Obi sending those cones, just praying that somebody will be taken out by them, but I don't even know if it's him hitting them, but you know, he's the only one with Jedi forces, Jedi powers. Tipping it here, then tipping it down here, then at Nurburgring Sprint Circuit. Everybody seems to be handling it reasonably well, though. There you go, surprising. No carnage. Well, not yet. Not yet. It's not over yet. Dylan again leads, starts to pull that gap. Once more, 1.3 seconds over Pilgrim. Nick Vick finds himself in second position, under threat here from Mocking Weeks and an Obi. It's a long back straight up towards this chicane. Our driver's going to get the braking right. Obi goes for a move up the inside. Almost costs him and Nick Vick a race there, but backs off. Nick Vick holds that position. Obi comes back. He's slowed down though, and that's allowed Ice Chand and Skippy to come at him. He's looking for a door. He's going to have to make one. I'm going to stick with this fight because it is pretty intense at the minute. 4 drivers all headed down towards turn 1. Are they all going to get their braking right? Seems that they are. Oh, 3 wide into turn 1. Skippy's going to take full advantage of that and try and squeeze one up the inside here onto the Mercedes arena. Gets his way past Ice Chan, looking for his way past Mocking Weeks as well on the exit. Drivers going wide through there. Where they're just catching them out. Skippy then does find himself pushed through into 5th then. A little bit slidey on the exit. Cost him those positions back, we'll see. Chan now finds himself at the back of the field on the medium tyre for this final race, trying to get up back up the inside of Captain Pugwash. Captain Pugwash, I don't think anybody knows what his car's going to do. Rocky Weeks has made a mistake, then he finds himself at the back of the field. Not sure if there was any contact, no damage on his car. And Dylan is just tootling around again, whistling to himself. I'll have 1.2 seconds lead. Still raining here though, wipers going full tilt. Pilgrim's found his horn once more. Into 2nd, Nick Vick 3rd, then Obi 4th. Pilgrim trying to close up on Dylan, gets the time down to a 2nd. So that soft tyre still working pretty well to run faster than the mediums, even in these wet conditions. Again, this track will probably dry out by the time this race ends. Nick Vick pushes it on the exit, that final corner. Don't know whether you pick up penalties for that, but I can't imagine it's the faster line. looking for the move up the inside. Pilgrim looking for the move up the inside of Dylan as well for race lead. Using those soft tyres to his advantage. Outbrakes Dylan, turns tighter than Dylan. Accelerates quicker than Dylan. Takes that position then. 0.5 of a second lead. Nick Vick now vying for second. Trying to push his way past on that soft tyre as well. Past Dylan on the medium. Look at this, just driving around the outside of him. Obi's seen a door open up the inside and goes for it as well. Dylan getting properly bullied here. Nick Vick, unfortunately, although he had the move on Dylan, takes the position off him, but he loses it straight away to Obi, so he stays in exactly the same position. So Pilgrim now leads, Obi second, and Nick Vick in third, Dylan fourth, Captain Pugwash in fifth, Skippy in sixth, sorry, not Skippy, Ice Chand in sixth, Markin Weeks seventh, Skippy in eighth, Ginge Imposter in ninth. So you can see it is drying out here a little bit. Sun coming out, you will start to see a dry line. There you go, it is already showing up on track. So this track will only get faster, those soft tyres will only become better. Dylan might find himself under pressure from all sorts of people by the end of this race. Obi goes for a move on Pilgrim into this last corner. Pilgrim switches back up on him though, up the inside. It's a drag race down towards turn one, but Pilgrim's got the inside. Nick Vick holds third. Oof, all sorts happening in the background. Dylan finds himself with a second penalty. The two yellow cars were having a bit of a punch-up for that last position. Ice Chan finds himself off track, I think that was. He also now finds himself with a second penalty. Again, driving standards should increase a little bit when this dry weather dries the track out a little bit. So Obi back into the lead then. Pilgrim second. Vick in third, started to pull time on Dylan. He's still got that second penalty to lose as well. It's going to push him even further back into the drivers behind. Look at this, all kicking off here. Got medium tyre drivers, soft tyre drivers. The fast and the slow. Ice Chand also finds himself with that 1 second penalty. He's going to lose that on this next long straight. Medium tyre as well, so he might fall off the back of this pack. He needs to stick with them, get the slipstream. Almost 3/4 of the way through the race. There it is, brakes get applied for him, time penalty served. He has to try and get himself back up to speed. Oh, it's 3 wide coming up towards the chicane. Ginge Imposter looking for the inside line on the pair of Mocking Weeks and Skippy. Backs out of it though, gives Mocking Weeks the position. Skippy, gets the exit, that one wrong, runs a little bit slow on the exit of the chicane. Mocking Weeks comes through to take that position off him. Skippy's now under pressure from Ginge Imposter for that 7th. Holds on to it just. Ginge Imposter tucks himself into the slipstream. So close you can't even see him. Has a little think about it into turn 1, does Ginge Imposter. Chand now gets himself almost into that slipstream again, but top 2 drivers then find themselves with penalties. Half a second on board for Obi, full second for Pilgrim. Nick Vick could benefit here very well. Obi runs wide through the hairpin, almost off track. Oh, bumps and barges to get himself back into that lead position. 90 left, and have dirty tyres as well. Pilgrim looking to come back on the run down the hill, and this still is only going to work in Nick Vick's favour. He's not in tow range, but these two will have penalties to lose there. Nick Vick coming up, storms past Pilgrim. Can he carry the speed onto Obi? Running up towards the chicane then. It's going to be a brave move if he does it. Backs out. He backs out. Fair play, Nick Vick. But still applying the pressure on him coming out of the chicane. Soft tyre on board for both of these drivers. So what can Nick Vick do in the last minute and a half? the final lap for the pair of them. Pilgrim third then at the minute. Big gaps either side for him. Dylan in fourth, doing really well on a set of medium tyres, to be perfectly honest. Captain Pugwash in fifth on the softs. Still a little bit of wet on this circuit. Not full dry weather yet. Skippy in sixth, Gingy Imposter into seventh. Markin Wheats eighth. Nice Chand after losing his penalty. Still within a second of Markin Wheats. Not too bad. Oof. Almost going for a shortcut there. Then 0.7 of a second behind Obi. Pilgrim a little bit too far back to go for a move just yet, 1.4 seconds back. Vic then running out of corners. Can he do anything to get past Obi? Can Obi stay in this top spot? Through that 90 right, then down the hill, big long straight towards the chicane. A little bit more time over Nick Vick. It's looking better and better for OB. Only a few corners left to go. Through the chicane. Oof. Nick Vick. Oh, Nick Vick. Naughty. Bit tight through there. Might end up with a penalty for that. We'll see. OB into this final turn then. Absolutely sideways coming through there. Storms towards the line then, 3.6 seconds lead by the time he comes up to the line. Taking the win then. Pilgrim, oh my god, Nick Vick, what have you done to yourself? So Pilgrim takes second, Dylan takes third, Nick Vick, what? Captain Pugwash came through to take that position off you as well, so Captain Pugwash takes fourth. Even with the glitchiest internet on the planet. Nick Vick, I saw you picked up a penalty, or you'd got the chicane wrong, but what on earth did you do into that final turn to cost you so many positions? There we go. We didn't see Dylan on the top spot for all three races. Whew. Good. Weather coming back down here. So Obi taking that win then. Pilgrim second, Dylan third, Captain Pugwash fourth, Nick Vick. What happened, Nick? Nick Vick fifth, Skippy sixth, Gingy Imposter seventh, Markin Wheats in eighth, and Ice Chand struggling in that one, coming home in ninth position. And there is 3 races done tonight then. So final round of this next week, same time, same place, 9 o'clock. We have got round 7 of the Toyota Multi-Class League, so that's GR3s and GR1s on track at the same time. Pros and AMs in teams, so that's 9 o'clock on Sunday night. 2 more rounds left of that. Again, 1 more round of this left next week, and then a couple of weeks break, and then we jump into the new leagues from P1, which is the Alpha 155 League and the GT 500 League. Both of those coming up end of Marchish. But that's it. No problem, boys. No problem, boys. Just give me some thanks. Look above. Look, thanks, Dark Smoker. Yeah, no problem, boys. But that is it from me tonight. I hope you have liked what you've watched. If you have, you know what to do, people. I've still got to figure out this bit. Where is it? Where's the subscribe bit? I can't even see it. It's because I'm subscribed, probably, to my own channel. It's somewhere, wherever it should be on the page. Like, subscribe, comment, that sort of stuff. If you want to get involved in any of this racing, then you need to join P1 Racing community on Facebook, and look out for the chats and look out for the new leagues coming up, and you know, stick a comment in there. Get me on that track. I want to smash people off circuit too. No, we don't want that. We want nice clean racing. But if you fancy some of that, then make a comment on some of the posts and get yourself involved in some of the racing. Might see yourself on here. But that's going to be it from me tonight, people. Again, I hope you've liked what you've watched. If you have, like, comment, subscribe. But most of all, what I want you to do is tell your mates and tell your mums. My name's Dark Smoker. I'm out of here.